Hello, and welcome to Bandy Presents The Movie Test of Time, a podcast about revisiting our youth through the only medium that matters, the movies. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young, and I'm one of your stalking, hunting hosts. Joining me, as always, is our other stalking and hunting host, Beth Martin. Beth, the pleasure as always. What's crack?
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Hey, so, uh, we're moving through the sickness that's been happening, and I guess everyone has sick in Ramona where I live. Like, I went to the
really?
school because we had like the Halloween celebration over the weekend,
Uh-huh.
aptly named the Monster Mash.
Nice.
Anyways, and like everyone was sick and like hacking, and so it's just, yeah,
Is
the
it
joy of being in a small town.
is it cold, flu, COVID, a mixture of all three?
It's like all the things.
Okay.
It's like attacking everybody's vocal cords
Yeah,
basically. So it's just weird because, we're Californians. We like to talk.
that's true.
So, um, so I am putting on my big girl pants or my
Uh-huh.
big pants because everyone wears pants, not necessarily just girls.
It's true.
I'm putting on my big pants and I'm going to Las Vegas.
Ooh, okay.
Fly out on Saturday.
Hmm.
And this will be the first time I've been there since I got COVID in
Hmm.
2020.
Interesting.
So I know it's kind of like, and I'm trying to get off. I'm gonna be totally honest. I've been on some medications that I'm trying to get off of, and it's a process, but I've got a psychiatrist that's helping me, and I'm just kind of like working through anxiety and um, what that looks like without additional assistance. So it's scary. I'm living in fear all the time. Not really, but kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I feel it's like Mike's parents are flying here to take care of the kids, so we
Uh-huh.
can go. He's got this conference, so excuse me. Mm.
Hmm.
Sorry, that was a frog. So I'm actually gonna go and like we get to spend some time together, which we haven't done, I don't know, in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, but I almost like pulled a ripcord on the whole thing because I was just like, I don't know, like it's just I think it's too much. And then I was like, Beth Merton, like stop living in fear all the time,
Hmm.
And it's like I I actively don't live a life that's like notable because I'm afraid, right? And I'm trying to stop that,
Yeah. That's
you
good. I
know.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good first step. Just yeah, I mean like and Vegas is a
Yeah. It's
you
a
know
big, I know, it's like of all the places to like
it's like
start this process.
a baptism of fire. But I love it. Like,
Pretty much.
I like I think I think I've talked about it before, but my experience with Vegas was when I was like too young to drink. And also too young to gamble, so it was kind of like not the official Vegas experience. So I was like, yeah, it was fine. I find it kind of like relatively sketchy, and that was what 25 years ago, so I can only imagine what it's like now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Mike goes like once a year at
Yeah.
least, either for work or for bro weekend. And he says that it's interesting. Like you used to be able to go and pay like $2 for a hotel and
Yes.
like put 20 bucks in and just get like all the free drinks. But now like regular humans can't afford to go, and a lot of like conferences go there, and
I
so the
see.
prices are insane because like who the fuck cares if their business is paying for their flight and their hotel and their drinks
Yeah.
and whatever. So it's definitely,
A
you
different.
know a different, yeah. And like they keep tearing down all the old hotels and putting up generic ones. One of them is even called the Cosmopolitan.
Oh, really?
No,
Excuse
it's
me.
stupid.
I
So yeah.
sorry, I was gonna say my memory of it is the extremely cheap buffets and getting lots of
Yeah.
food. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no. It's like now it's like $45 for a buffet.
Wow.
So, so I kind of knew this because I read this article about Kevin Costner and like
Hmm.
all of his issues. Um, but actors they're on the like speaking circuit. So like he was the keynote speaker for like the the Dairy Association and like
Oh,
yeah, and like the Bakers Association. I was like, how interesting. And Mike was like, oh yeah, like have you heard of Kevin Pollak? And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I know Kevin Pollak, like usual suspects. And he was like, he's going to be the keynote speaker. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. And I was like, for like a bunch of like environmental engineers. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, he's like, do you want to like, there's a gala dinner. Do you want to go see him talk? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do.
yeah.
So that's going to be,
Okay.
yeah.
I like
I have
it.
to wear
I
a dress though, but whatever.
Yeah. But still, that'll be an interesting experience though. I
Hmm.
like because I'm sure isn't that how like a lot of these guys who are well established and have big
Yeah.
names, how they
Yeah.
make their money
Like
really, because they'll get
you
a fortune for that.
afford like I'm sure that Kevin Costner probably made $1 million for,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna introduce myself and be like, how much are they paying you to do
Yeah,
this?
yeah, for these days. Oh God, that
And
would
he'll
be
be
amazing.
like totally insulted. Um, okay. I have I don't know, maybe this might be a feature that I'm gonna
Okay.
start doing, but it's ridiculous headlines of the week.
Okay.
Okay. This happened yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Truck hauling monkeys initially thought to be infected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID overturns on Mississippi highway.
Okay.
And they're all over, they escaped.
Oh
They're
my
hunting them
word.
down. So they've got hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID, and they're a bunch of monkeys.
What the fuck?
I know.
That's like the plot to a movie for sure. It really is.
Totally. It writes itself. It
I
writes
mean, like,
itself.
I was gonna say I'm surprised I haven't heard about this, but like with all
And
the other crazy crap that's
yeah,
going on in the world, I suppose I'm not massively surprised.
John Goodman would have to be the truck driver.
Well, this is yeah, absolutely.
Anyways,
Um,
what's the crack with you?
so I am similarly sick, and eagle-eared listeners may detect my voice
Right.
isn't quite the same as normal. So yeah, it's also the same sort of thing over here. Once it comes try it starts getting into winter, everybody gets sick. So yeah,
Well, it's like
hooray!
I guess like are you inside more and that's why?
I mean, yes and no. I think like one of the things I don't think it was this, but like last week I was teaching a yoga class and there was a guy in the class and he
Who's
was like
Kevin?
coughing the whole time and I'm like,
In your
motherfucker.
right in your face.
Yeah. I'm like, please, why are you here?
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think it was that. I mean, but who knows? It could have been
Of course.
anywhere, anything. I have friends who work in schools, and as we all know, they are germ factories. So, like, it could easily be have been that. Um, so what's been the crack with me? Not much. I'm still kind of on the DL. I'm like, this is gonna date this episode, but I am figuring out what I'm gonna do for Halloween, or what I'm gonna wear for Halloween, I should say. I'm probably just gonna.
It's in two
It's in
days.
2 days, yeah. And I have a something in place. It's an old costume that I'm probably gonna go with because I just can't be bothered figuring out something new.
Is it
Um
cool? Is it Jaws?
no, it's just gonna be oh God, I should do that again. It's just gonna be McCann costume from last year, I think.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that was a good one.
Because it was a fun one.
That was fun.
Um, I have like I dug out my old like Captain Kirk sort of uniform,
Hmm.
but like I bought it whenever I was like v very thin, and it fits just, but not something I would want to feel comfortable wearing out into the world. Um, so yeah, but I'm quite looking forward to that. So just as I say, just be saving for that. As I say, last month has been a month of austerity, so looking forward to doing a bit more this month.
Hmm.
But since then, I went down to Dublin at the weekend. My girlfriend was running
Fun.
Dublin Marathon, so I was down to meet her in the
Anybody I
finish line.
know?
Who was running it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. No, I mean a friend of yours.
Oh no, 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 my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's
she
that's
was
fun.
running it. Yes. So
Awesome.
yes. So I met her at the end of that, and that was nice. It was nice to kind of see her afterwards. She was like, um, as anyone who's run a marathon was pretty beat up after it, but not as beat up as I think she had expected to be, which is a win. So that was nice, and it's always nice to get down to Dublin even for a wee bit. Um, I also, so there's like, one of the things, yeah, because it's very expensive to eat out, is one of her friends actually does like these sort of like meals that like she does it once a month and she does basically different kind of cuisines. And last week she was doing Japanese cuisine. She does all vegan food. So she's doing Japanese three-course meal for two people essentially. And it was lovely. It was like a katsu curry with like tofu. What do you call the there's if there's a coating for in Japan. They have a special kind of breadcrumbs. Is it panko? Yeah, I think it's panko
Yeah,
breadcrumbs.
panko.
Panko breadcrumbs, and there was a dessert, and there was a starter and everything. Like there was vegan sushi, and it was just so nice. So it was just a lovely way to, experience some other sort of cooking and not having to like, remortgage the house to like go to a
Right.
restaurant these
Right.
days.
It's true.
So it was very nice. It was lovely. It was a fun wee thing to do for a change.
And free.
And yes, exactly. Yes, much which is much nicer. But that's been about it. Because, like, as I say, apart from being sick, I still am recovering. I think last week I was talking about recovering from shingles. Sasha is in a lot better state.
Good.
She's still like, I people have been asking me how she's doing. I'm like, she's back to her regular speed, slow.
Yeah,
But like that's where she's been for a while now, and she's good there. So, um, but yeah, so nothing too exciting, and but yeah, it has been nice to kind of have a bit more of a low key week.
good. Yeah.
Do
I
you
mean,
have?
it's like I
Mhm.
do, I do. So because this is or we were doing horror for Halloween.
Yeah.
So this person said Leather Andy could be a character around which to launch a new horror franchise. Greasy,
Okay.
bloodstained leather utility kilt, leather shirt cut above the belly button.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
And then it goes a little too far. But I'm going to read it anyway.
Okay.
What's under the kilt? Leather Andy asks the sorority girls, and he lifts it, cackling behind his leather mask to reveal the razor blade strap on from Seven.
Wow. Okay.
We
Interesting.
got a laugh out of you, Andy.
We did.
Yay.
Um, I have
So
some of
that
those
could be your
things.
Halloween
Yeah,
costume.
that could be my Halloween costume. I have some of those things in the house, so I mean, like I'm at least like 50% of the way there. So I
Yes.
won't I won't say which items I have. I like it. It's a good plan. Um, so yeah, that was a good what's occurring
I know,
if
right?
somewhat disturbing, but I'm happy to go to that place. Love it. So do you have anything else for us, or shall we move on
No,
to
we
our
can move on.
topic? All right. So we thought, you know. What better way to bridge the horror of Halloween with the jovial nature of Christmas than Mr. Michael Douglas?
Right.
So we're going to do a wee Michael Douglas season just to bridge us between these two things.
Yeah.
And then we'll maybe do some Christmas movies in the run up to
Ooh.
Christmas. If you have suggestions of Christmas movies you'd like us to look at,
Any movies.
yeah, well,
What was
any
I thinking
movies.
of last night? Oh, I'd love to watch The Black Stallion again.
Ooh, I don't think I've
There
seen
was
that.
another one I was like, oh, that's a good one. We should try that. I don't know. I have them written down, but not actually put in their shared drive folder. But if anybody has ideas of
Yeah,
movies, we will take it seriously, and there's probably a 50% chance we'll actually watch it.
easily
Maybe
50%.
51%.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so yeah. So this week we're going to be looking at The Ghost in the Darkness, a movie from 1997. It's I had seen this in the cinemas as when I was
Oh
younger. Did you
wow.
see it?
I not in the cinema. It was
Okay,
like one of those where my dad was like, "You should see this,"
okay.
and I was like, "This is a true story," and he's like, "Yeah." So
Um,
yes.
so we thought this would be
So
a good one to start off with, and yeah, as it's not as big. So the thing I was going to say was it's not as big as big of a Michael Douglas film as I thought it was going to be. It's more of a Val Kilmer. project,
Yeah.
but it's he's still in a lot of it, you know.
Yeah. What's that Phil Collins song that's all like, I've been waiting
Oh,
for
Air
this
of the Night.
moment. Yeah, so it's like that. Where like
Yeah,
the drum beat doesn't happen for like a minute and a half or something, and then it's like do 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 do. That's what this movie is for me.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I and they think like whenever he does arrive, we'll talk about this more later, but when he does
Yeah.
arrive, it is like, yes, it's the shot of the
Yes.
arm this
Yes.
movie needed, you know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, okay, so this movie is based on this is based on a true story, and these two lions were like terrorizing um a camp that was building a bridge, basically. And the the African people named these lions the Ghost and the Darkness, hence the title of the movie, which I think is probably in my like top 10 favorite titles of a movie ever. It's so good,
It's a
The
good name.
Ghost and the Darkness, and they're like, oh, they're talking about these two fucked up lions. So quick synopsis. Sir Robert Beaumont is behind schedule on a railroad in Africa, enlisting noted engineer John Henry Patterson to right the ship. John Henry Patterson was a real person. Beaumont expects results. Haha. Everything seems great until the crew discovers the mutilated corpse of the project's foreman, seemingly killed by a lion. After several more attacks, Patterson calls in famed hunter Charles Remington, um, who has finally met his match in the bloodthirsty lions, based on true story. Also, like, isn't Remington a type of a gun?
It is.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so like,
I was thinking that I don't think I picked up on that. So kind of one of the things I was looking at.
mhm. So so yeah, it takes place in Africa. It's gorgeous. It's just you can't make a movie in Africa and not just be like, holy crap, it's so pretty.
Yeah,
So gorgeous vistas and terror and horror and blood and
yeah.
bloodletting.
Yeah, it is a good sort of like bridge from our like horror movies from because it is
Totally.
kind of a slasher kind of
Just
movie in
like
a way.
more of like animals and cattle
Yeah,
slasher.
yeah, that's true. Very much so. Indiscriminately just
Uh-huh.
slashing people up. Yeah. But yeah, it's I I I definitely remember enjoying it whenever I was younger. I like I really was curious because like as we went into this because Beth suggested it and I was like, who did direct this? And it was somebody called Stephen Hopkins, and the name rang a bell, and I was like, oh, what is? I was trying to figure it out. But before I do a bit of a search, I'm trying to like dive through my own memories and see if I can like
Your
pick
Mind
something
Palace,
up.
yes.
And I couldn't remember, but then I did a search, and what I know him from is the Lost in Space movie from the late 90s.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
how interesting.
yeah. His other like notable films were he did Predator 2, which is, I think a fun movie. It's not as good as the first movie, but it's a fun movie. And he did Nightmare on Elm Street 5. That was like the gig. That was the gig. He just kind of like stumbled into that gig, apparently, and that kind of launched a movie career that he just did not expect to have. He was like hoping to be a comic book artist, which I thought was nice, and just didn't have the chops for it, he thought, and ended up becoming a film director. Um, the other sort of notable thing he was
It's
involved
like, well,
with,
I can't do that. I guess I'll just direct films. I
yeah, I hear
like
about
a
some
choice
people's,
like that,
right?
right?
I hear about some
Yeah.
people's careers, and I'm just kind of like, wow, that rocks. Like, how did you go from that to that to that? I mean, fair play. Um, but he was involved heavily with the first season of 24 as well, which is also
Ooh,
kind of a big deal. But yeah,
yeah, that's huge.
but like I have quite a fondness for that. Like, I think I kind of recognize that the Lost in Space movie from the late 90s was terrible, but like I had a real fondness for it at the time because that show was so meaningful for me as a kid. So yeah, yeah, it seems like, didn't do tons of stuff, but he's done some ones that I certainly not masterpieces, but have meaning for me.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so guess who wrote the screenplay?
Who did write the screenplay?
William fucking Goldman.
Oh, really?
Yes, I had no idea.
Whoa.
So, don't worry, he's still alive. He's 87, but he's still with us. So he wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He wrote the book The Princess Bride and the screenplay The Princess Bride. Um, so I'm a big fan of his.
Hmm.
He almost like more his writing than his movies, but his movies are so good. So
Yeah.
it's just like he's got this creative element that I feel like a lot of screenwriters don't necessarily have.
Yeah.
Where there's just something there. There's like a little bit of magic that he throws this little fairy dust of William Goldman magic, and it becomes something else. And so he heard about the story that happened in Africa with these lions and this bridge and John Henry Patterson in like the 80s. He thought it would be a good script, so he pitched the story to Paramount as a cross between Lawrence of Arabia and Jaws. Uh, and by like 1990, they were like, "Yeah, like write it up." And so he created the screenplay. So his quote about the lions, he said, "My particular feeling is that they were evil," said Goldman of the Lions. "I believe that for 9 months evil popped out of the ground at Savo." And Savo is the name of the
Yeah.
town. And Savo, I think, also means, well, I'm not going to say it
Okay.
because I'll get it wrong, but it's something about like evil or lions or something.
Okay.
There's like meaning to the word Savo, and they named it because of what happened there.
Uh-huh.
So according to Goldman, Kevin Costner expressed interest in playing Patterson. Paramount wanted Tom Cruise. He was like, no. And they just like couldn't really get anything going until Michael Douglas was like, oh well, I'll do it. And he read the script and he loved it. And uh Douglas decided to produce, and this kind of like we'll go into this a little bit deeper. So Douglas was a producer, and Hopkins was hired to direct.
Uh-huh.
Um, so and then the part of yeah, so they offered it to everybody: Sean Connery, Anthony Hopkins, Gerard Depardieu. Um, so yeah, Douglas decided to play the role himself. He was like, "I'm producing, and I want to be,
Okay.
yeah, like I want to not only be in the movie, but I want my head on the poster for the 15 minutes that I'm in it."
Yeah, well, I mean, fair play to him.
Stephen Hopkins, the director, later said he was unhappy about this. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting. So, like, basically, he was running the show then, by the sounds of things.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
That's
Which made
interesting.
me kind of like as I was like watching the movie, I kind of research and as I'm asking questions, I'll find the answer. So it was just interesting. It kind of like started to taint my view of the movie.
Yeah, that's
The
interesting.
fact that like knowing that the actor and the director or the like producer actor and the director are not really getting along. So,
I think that is the more common, I think, isn't it? Like it can be, especially
probably.
whenever it's an oversized, whenever it's an actor with an oversized, I guess, an imbalance of power, I suppose, is what I'm trying to searching
That's a
for.
really nice way to put it.
Yeah, yeah,
Clearly you have the British influence, Andy.
yeah. That's it. Um, I I'm so. First of all, I was just looking at William Goldman stuff as you're talking there, and first of all, the sad news is that he did actually die. Died in 2018. So
What?
yeah, yeah, he did. Unfortunately,
Wikipedia is not updated.
no. Um, but
Oh
he
man,
I know.
that's
It's
fucking
okay. I
sad.
know. But like he has some absolute hits. All the President's Man, Misery. Um,
That's right, I
he's got some
forgot about
other,
Misery.
slightly dodgier stuff like Dreamcatcher, the Stephen King adaptation. But yeah, like he has some good movies under his belt as well, like screenplays for movies. Um,
He was also like a script doctor. So
yes.
like I don't I'm sure it does say on Wikipedia like all of and I didn't bring those up because I was like, well, he didn't actually like write it, he just doctored it, but he would be like if the movie's good, it's because of him,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, absolutely. He would punch it up, I suppose, and like, add in zipier dialogue or like, yeah, those sorts of things. I could see that. Um, it's also reminded me of like Marathon Man, which is supposed to be a good film that I've never seen.
Yes, yes.
Um, Another one that he wrote. Anyway,
That
um,
one is that. Oh, I forgot about that. So there's a scene in Marathon Man where he's being tortured like
yes,
by a dentist, and this dentist is just like asking him like, "Is it
it's
safe?"
is
And
it
then he's
safe?
like
Yeah.
attacking. So my dad would call the dentist the morning of my appointment, and I'd get dropped off, and then I'd like lay back in the chair, and then they put on my little bib, and then they would start saying, "Is it safe? Is it safe?" And like they thought it was like the funniest thing ever, but it's terrifying. I was like 13, right? And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, they're gonna die. So yeah, that's why I'm fucked up, Andy.
Yeah. Well, at least you have an excuse. I'm just fucked up with
I
no
do, I
excuse.
do. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
My
I
father colluding with the dentist.
it's a really good fun. Um, I Even I know that scene, like, and I've never seen the movie, but it's so famous.
Yeah.
That bit in particular.
It's like
Um,
it's poor Dustin Hoffman, who like never deserves any, he definitely doesn't deserve to be tortured by those things.
he is apparently one of the most like difficult actors to work with. Apparently, he has a terrible reputation, which I always
Yeah,
thought was like,
him and who's the guy that played? He was in Jaws. Ugh.
oh, Roy Sider.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
the scientist.
I know exactly who you mean. Yeah, he's supposed to be an absolute nightmare. People are screaming at us right now. Um,
Yeah, sorry,
Richard
mind help.
Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, yes.
Yes, he is
Yes.
supposed to be an absolute nightmare and has went hardcore down the kind of right wing, alleyway.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
a chill
Really
guy.
disappointing. Yeah.
Um, so I was actually almost equally as excited whenever I saw who did the music, which was Jerry Goldsmith, who is,
Ooh.
one of the greats, one of the big names in terms of movie composers, I think, over the years. Um, I like just I like he had such a list of incredible movies that he's worked on. I just kind of cherry picked like a handful that I thought were great, like Chinatown, Omen, Alien, Gremlins. The Gremlins music in particular just is like in my head. Yeah,
Oh yeah. It's
fantastic.
like a
Total
jingle.
Recall.
It's like a jingle. He
Yes,
makes
it
like
is.
yeah, I can totally like I can hear all those soundtracks in my head right now, especially Gremlins.
Just an
That's
absolute killer.
awesome.
Basic Instinct, The Mummy, like he just did tons and tons of stuff.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and I thought that like, we'll get into it a bit more later in terms of our thoughts on the film, but I thought music honestly was one of the most effective parts of it, and I thought that like I think it is a difficult needle to thread in the whenever you are in a nation that is not your own and you're trying to represent that nation, like
Yes,
he kind of just like, you know, seasons the music with some sort of like African rhythms and stuff like that. And I think it just feels right considering like, the I guess the thrust of the movie is about these kind of like foreign invaders in Africa. So like I think, probably their story centered, but I think it's important that he kind of like, makes an effort to represent um everybody involved there. And I think he does a pretty good job.
agreed. Yeah, it's definitely like you feel the colonization of it all in
Yes.
this, just based on what they're wearing and who's in charge and all of that. And yeah, who's actually doing the hard labor. Anyways, so yeah, I really enjoyed the music. And it's like the two movies I think that I think about when I think about Africa is Out of Africa with Robert Redford and Meryl Streep,
Uh-huh.
which I don't know who did the music for that, but it's fabulous. And this movie, The Ghost in the Darkness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just I was like, does this is it believable? Does it hold up? Like, what do you notice about the
I
movie? I thought it helped. Like, it's kind of like um, it doesn't hold up if like the jokes are racist or like
This is
sexist.
true.
So this didn't have any of that. So I
That's a
thought
good point.
I thought it was still very watchable for sure.
Yeah.
And also, like in the beginning, he's like, "Oh, my darling dearest, like I know you're having a baby, but I have to go to Africa." And she was like, "I'll see you in a year." And I was like, that's like common back then. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you actually have a relationship and not see each other for like a year or years, right? Like I'm married to an explorer. He's gone for I don't know,
It
5 years.
it seems like it's so wide, but it seems like it was relatively common back then. I mean, either that
Mm.
you would just stay together forever, or these people who just like you say. I mean, the one I remember um that kind of or showed that really well was I'm trying to remember the name of the oh, there's an HBO show and it was about one of the early presidents, John Adams,
John
miniseries.
John
John
Adams, sorry,
Adams. And
from
like,
Hamilton.
yes, yes. And the big chunk of time that they spent away, and I thought they really kind of represented that really well. I thought it was a very interesting sort of
Like, were they
portrayal of
actually
that.
in love? He was in love with his wife.
Yeah, it sounded like he was,
Yeah.
and then it certainly made the show certainly made it seem that way that he really missed her, and um. So yeah, it is interesting. It is kind of wild, like considering I was thinking about that whenever he was like writing letters and stuff to her, and it was like
Yeah.
that's nice. I kind of think that feels like something we've lost, there's something quite lovely, I think, about sitting down and writing something, but it just feels like there's not an awful lot of space for that in the world we live in these days.
I'm like rewatching The Crown right now.
Uh-huh.
And she's writing a lot of letters and I do. I'm I'm well, and the internet went down the other day, right? When the Amazon um this was last week. Amazon, whatever, we're all on Amazon servers now.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't upload our episode because apparently Spotify is on that and like
Uh-huh.
all this stuff was going like I couldn't get we were missing channels, like Reddit was down,
Yeah.
Instagram was down, and I'm just like and then Mike flew this is sorry, I'm off topic. I don't
Yeah.
care. You listen to us because you love us, and so you get to all this detail. So Mike
Yes.
was out of town. He was trying to get home. He was up in Spokane, Washington, in the rain, and was like, "Oh, I just want to get home." And all Alaska Airlines canceled their flights
Wow.
because they had an IT issue. So he was like, "Flight is canceled. Like, we're gonna drive down to Portland, and then I'll try and get like a flight out of Portland." So they rented a car and drove 5 hours, and I was just like, they flew planes before there were computers.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
isn't there just like an analog way to like fucking do this shit?
I
And the answer is probably not.
Well, probably not anymore. I mean, like not certainly with how complex things are now, but like like I did, and at the kind of whole AWS kind of collapse apparently was connected to a lot of like layoffs and stuff they've made that department. They've replaced a lot of stuff with AI, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, uh, it's just such a bummer the way the way things are going in that
I
regard.
know. It's true.
Like, oh my
And
word.
then they're like, China's doing it. They're like, no, it's the USA. And then I'm like, it could be AI. Could
Yeah.
be.
But yeah, that was
The
kind of
ghost in
wild.
the machine.
It was kind of wild how much was kind of dependent on that. It really was like but yeah, having flights connected to it is absolutely insane. It really is. Um I feel like, you know, I mean, I suppose the idea with these systems is that they are your backup, but like it feels like this is the danger of how of like something that is such a big monopoly as well. Everything gets tied up into
Yeah.
one sort of system. It's absolutely it's very scary.
Yes. So we need to write letters
Yeah.
and we all need to learn Morse code.
And how to fly.
And how to fly. It's time to start prepping, Andy. Let's be preppers.
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
so the beginning of the movie,
Hmm.
they're like, Patterson is like riding in this little seat on the front of this train, which I thought was cool. I would like to know if I could sit on it's like literally a bench on the front of the train at the very beginning, and
Yeah.
he's listing off facts. So fun facts, which Andy already knows these because he watched the movie too, but he's listing these things off to his guide, and so giraffes only sleep 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Hippos fart through their mouths.
Yeah.
And female hyenas are bigger than the males.
It's and
There,
did
there
you
you
check
go.
this out?
No.
Okay, I'm just I'm giving I'm presuming they're
You're
all true, but I did mean to
so yeah, I mean, if it were me and I was Googling my mind palace, I would probably check the hippo fart mouth thing because I was like, well, that's an interesting, fun animal fact. Um, so, um, also, I was thinking about just like colonialism in general and
yeah.
like, do you feel that baggage in Northern Ireland?
Um yeah,
I mean,
that's a
I feel
good
like they kind of
question.
let you guys do your own thing, right?
Like
And then they cut your
it's
trees down.
yeah, it's so complicated because like, Northern Ireland, certainly the majority of I guess the reason for Northern Ireland is that it is part of the UK in Ireland as such. So like, you know, I guess we are as culpable as, the mainland England and particularly England because England was such a driver of that stuff. Um, so like I do like in terms of like I have an awareness of it, but like I don't think that like you know how people are. People will do backflips to like go, oh, that was years ago. That's what's happened has happened. Whenever they're the ones who are like sitting pretty after all the kind of
Yeah,
horrors have happened. So
not the
like,
Holocaust deniers.
yeah, because like, and there's been stuff like, not specifically. I mean, to my knowledge, not specifically with Africa, but there have been like reparations and stuff for people, and there's been, stuff done in recent-ish years to make up for, Indian Gurkhas, for example, and like some people from the Caribbean and things like that. So like there are gestures made. I don't know how token they are or how good they are, but there is like some effort made there.
Hmm. I mean, we have slavery, so that's
Well, I mean,
that wasn't that long ago. So,
I mean, this is the thing. Every nation that like has done pretty well for itself has dirty hands in terms
yeah,
of like how they behave on the world stage, like,
yeah,
bloody hands, honestly.
right.
So, but yeah, it's not something like I think, you know, because like it's also so true that, every country also has like much more recent bullshit as well, which I think is something that
That's
like
true.
comes to mind a lot more for this country.
That's true.
So we
Um,
we don't just have castles, we also have uh
baggage.
trauma, trauma and baggage. Yeah,
Um, okay, so can we talk about Val Kilmer's teeth?
sure. Okay. Do you have Vulcan teeth facts here, or are we
No,
talking about
just
them?
generally, like, they're so beautiful.
They are beautiful.
I was just like, that. I mean, I don't want to skip ahead to fit, but like, if I were picking fit, well, no, I have two, but his teeth, man, that was before like capping teeth with like,
Yeah.
he just had the most beautiful teeth.
He is such a kind of beautiful man generally,
Just a
like, and I mean,
beautiful man.
he has like these
Yes.
like really kind of like nice like mouth and lips as well, not just his teeth. It's
No,
like
he's just gorgeous,
he is
gorgeous.
absolutely he is. I think
It's,
when he walked in at the start and like he's walking along and he's like got his great suit and stuff on, like his military suit or whatever, and in the narration because I had forgotten this, it was like um John Patterson was as fine an Irish gentleman as you could ever meet, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, is he Irish in this? And I was like, is he going to do an accent? And he does do an accent. And it was like, I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I've heard way worse than that. But like, I was like, this is possible. It's very
yeah,
soft, but like,
yeah,
he's trying.
yeah. Um, so I have one person that I went to high school with that was like one of my best friends, and he has Val Kilmer teeth.
Oh, nice.
And I,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, I know. There are only a few in the world. So, anyways, sorry, it's a
Lucky.
little off topic. So, favorite actors?
in the movie.
Uh-huh.
Um, like I really like I really like Tom Wilkinson. He's not in it loads, but I always like seeing him show up. So he's the guy who's like kind of running the whole shebang.
Yep.
He tends to play. I mean, he doesn't always tend to. He doesn't really tend to play nice people, but like I kind of associate him more with like nice characters. But
Yeah.
he's great. I also really like Bernard Hill, who plays the Doctor, but like
Uh-huh.
he's again not in it tons either. But
No.
like and Val does a great job, I think, as does Michael Douglas in what sort of time he has there as well.
Yeah, I liked John Connie who plays Samuel.
Yeah,
Um he's been in a bunch of stuff. And then
yeah, I recognize them. Yeah.
Om Per I'm probably mispronouncing this, but Om Puri has been in, he's like a Bollywood like legend.
Oh yes,
Also the Lions
yes, they were going to
were
be in.
very, yes.
Um,
And they did a good job looking terribly scary. Their names in real life, so they're Canadian lions.
mhm,
Uh, their names are probably were Bongo and Caesar. They also appeared in Disney's George of the Jungle.
mhm,
But in this movie, they're man-eating lions, and they did a really good job there. I think there's only one scene where it was like an animatronic lion, and you could totally tell.
yeah,
The rest of the time, it was the two of them just kind of like growling and
oh
lunging,
great.
and they were just like, yeah, covered in blood, and they did a great job.
I should also say I like the guy Mahina just because he was such a great physical presence. Like he's one of the I think four men who like dies early
Yes.
on.
Oh,
Like
yes. The
he
one that was
was
like, I killed the lion with my bare hands.
yes,
Yeah, I like
that
him
guy
too.
he rocked.
And which was, too bad because he was like the first one that died.
Yeah.
So um I guess like, so this is based on a true story,
Hmm.
and these lions, so there's like this big camp of people and they're building this bridge and they're busy, and there's like you know I wish they'd gotten a lawnmower out. That would have helped the situation a little bit. So there's like all this like waving grass, and like you can kind of see hints of lions running around, which is very much like a Jaws thing,
Yeah.
I thought. But
Yeah.
these lions killed somewhere between 35 and 135 people, depending on who you talk to, in
Madness.
9 months.
That's crazy. Like,
I know.
yeah, that's really crazy. Um, yeah, it was. I remember, being really kind of. I think it lost me a little bit this time around. I think overall, I don't know what it was. I think by the end, I was kind of losing interest a little bit. But I remember how engaging I found it when I first watched it, and how much it like pulled me in and just kind of
Mhm.
like, because it was also like, I guess, because what I would have seen this, what age would I have been? I mean, I suppose 17, 18, but like, you're still figuring stuff out. You're learning a bit about the world. So I suppose it was
Yeah,
like like a view into like another
absolutely.
place, another time that I just really didn't know about. So I find it so engaging back then.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're building a railway bridge, which is very important. Um, I mean, it changes everything when you
Yeah.
can get stuff to where you need it to go by rail. I felt the same way. It was almost like, I feel like, no shame on Michael Douglas, but like there's like the movie before Michael Douglas, and then he enters at like 46 minutes, and then it becomes a little bit of a different movie almost.
Yes, it does.
So I feel like I was more interested in the beginning half than the end half. The end half is a
Yeah.
lot of staring into the darkness, and then you see the lion staring in the darkness, and then it's a lot of just like that. There's not a lot of dialogue. There's some suspense, but it's just a lot of kind of like, I don't know. It kind of like, I don't know if you've ever like gone hunting or fishing.
Uh-uh.
I've I've been fishing,
Oh, I've been fishing
um,
actually. Yeah. Hmm.
and it's just like, it's boring and it's slow, right?
Yeah.
And you get in the rhythm of doing nothing, and you're enjoying, like, it's kind of what it felt like to me. We're just kind of like waiting for something to happen, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I feel the same way, I guess. is what I'm saying. But I guess the question I have is like, can animals be inherently evil? Because in this movie, like they're killing not to eat. Because I think they can like, a zebra will last lions like, 1 or 2 weeks or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Something like that, because I don't know anything and that's not an actual fact. Um but like these lions were like licking skin off to like or like killing them and just like walking away and not actually eating them. So it's like they were killing to kill.
Yeah. That's, I mean, I suppose it's possible. I mean, like, they talk as well about, how unusual it is even for sharks to actually attack
Yes.
humans because they don't really like how they taste and
Yeah.
it's kind of like hard work. And um but there definitely have been cases where sharks have, particular sharks have taken an ocean. So it's whether like they're evil or they're kind of desperate, like even when I was in Canada there recently and talking to somebody who lived there for a big chunk of time, and they were saying that like people stress out about bears, but the truth of the matter is the bears oftentimes don't want to bother with humans because we're also like quite big and we're like scary to them too. And the only times they're really going to bother with you is when they're desperate, whenever they're starving, and they're just like, I need to eat. Um, so I think
They
that's
don't want to
probably
be like the first thing they see when they wake up from hibernation.
exactly. So I think that's probably it more than anything. Is I don't think they're, the animals are evil as such. I don't think they have. Certainly, they don't operate in our sort of like, morality wavelength, but they're just kind of like, if they're close to starving and you're there, well, sorry, pal, you're probably
Yeah.
lunch,
I think too, like, I took a primatology class in college and like I think our definition of evil is like, do they hurt humans, right? Not
Yeah,
like if they hurt each other but not me, then they're like, but like
that's true.
chimpanzees commit infanticide, right? They will grab your baby and like I've seen it on screen and it's a horrible thing to
Yeah,
watch, but it's like that's what happens in their I don't want to say culture, but like their chimpanzee world. So is
yes,
that evil or is that not, right? As opposed to like stealing like a human baby and then like killing it and then you'd be like that's an evil, right? So I think it's just like because
it's
we're
like
humans.
it's about survival, I think, and it's about like prioritizing, you know, maybe another child's, another infant's survival over one another, and so on, things like that. I think that's where a lot of that sort of calculus can come from. So it's like it's completely different to how we look at the world.
Yeah. Do they believe in Jesus?
Do they believe in
Anyways.
Jesus? Well, I'm like,
So
hey, have you heard the good word? It's this,
yeah.
it's what we need to ask them.
So do you want to hear how fun it was to film this?
Yes.
Okay. We had snake bites, scorpion bites, tick bite, fever, getting hit by lightning, floods, torrential
Whoa.
rains, lightning storms, hippos chasing people through the water, cars getting swept into the water, several deaths of crew members, including 2 drownings. Val came on set during the worst conditions imaginable, and he was like, he'd just done the Island of Dr.
Oh
Moreau,
God.
which, right? I know. I don't even know if I can rewatch that. Um, he was dealing with publicity, he was going through a divorce, uh and like yeah he barely had time to get set then yeah but he did so it was not easy to all to say.
I take it they did film it I mean, like, it looks like it's filmed in Africa, but
They
it
did.
was. Yeah, okay,
They
that makes
did,
sense.
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
like, yeah, I absolutely don't. Like, I mean, like, anything I hear about filming in location, any movies that spent big chunks of time location, it sounds like a complete hellscape. I remember listening to a podcast about Predator not so long ago, and it sounds like just like stuff that you would expect because they go to places and they're like, well, of course we're gonna get this sort of weather here, and it's like, nope, it's not how it works. But yeah, it's yeah, I do not envy them that at all. But I am such a not a stickler, but I guess I love it whenever films make the effort to film on location, and I really
Yeah,
think it adds a lot. So I'm glad I mean, and I guess the options there wasn't a ton of options back then, really, anyway. But I'm so glad that they did do it that way.
time too. So there's the scene where it's like the end. Okay, so it's towards the end of the movie, and they're trying to find the lion. Like I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so trying to find the lions, and they find this den
Hmm.
where the lions are like keep I don't know keeping their kills or whatever. So they walk in, they're like, "Oh my God." And it's like it's covered the ground is covered in bones and of humans and all
All
animals, but a
sorts.
lot of yeah, all sorts. That's true. That actually happened.
Wow.
So the small cave that served as the lion's lair was photographed when the lions had finally been put down and the location was forgotten. It wasn't until the 90s, 100 years after this all happened, that the cave was rediscovered after a big search, and yeah, they found all their human remains.
Wild.
So yeah,
Um, yeah, it's really nuts. Like, I mean, and you know, and it is like true that the lions are in, is it what Field Museum in
yes,
Chicago?
Chicago.
Chicago,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Which is kind of nuts. Though it looks like they are looking at these pictures, which is like often the case. The hunters tend to be the female lions, and it's
They're
female lions.
actually they're male.
Oh, are they?
They are. So
Interesting.
there are the thorn bushes that they have in this region of Africa.
Uh-huh.
So they're maneless male. They're called maneless males.
I see.
And the reason they think they don't have the mane is because they've adapted because of all the thorn bushes. Like if you're running, they're really
I
low
see.
bushes. It's like a briar patch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the lions like you're gonna get all your stuff like stuck, and so they've adapted to no longer have manes.
Interesting.
Not in the movie, yeah.
No, I was gonna say because like I think our classic idea of what a lion looks like, it has a
Yes.
mane, so that's what they
That
wanted to go
yes.
with.
Because I
Yeah.
saw the photos too, and I was like, "Those are girls." What? And then I read
Yeah.
into it, and it was like, so Patterson actually had the lion skins for like 20 years on his in his living room.
Wow.
And then yeah, he decided to he didn't donate them, he sold them to the Fields Museum in Chicago in
Okay.
1924 for $5,000.
Wow. Which is
Yeah.
a handsome sum at the time.
Yeah.
Um, Interesting. So interesting. So I suppose, do you have any other thoughts, anything you want to talk about before we maybe get into our final sort of judgment over the movie?
Yeah. So, a director, Stephen Hopkins, said in a 1988 interview that film was a mess. I haven't been able to watch it. And it's like, it kind of goes into like Michael Douglas deciding last minute to play Remington,
Yeah.
the relationship between Douglas and Hopkins. It was really tense when they were filming. Douglas had the movie completely recut in post production,
Mm.
and he removed 45 minutes of it to give himself more screen time.
Whoa.
So like so there's like there's some plot holes and like storylines where you're just like what why are we hearing about that? And it's because of Michael Douglas, which
I,
kind of like yeah, he was not like Hopkins was not happy with the final cut of the film. So now
okay.
I'm kind of like, what's this? What is the film supposed to be?
Yeah, that's
And
interesting.
what would I have enjoyed it more?
Yeah,
So
fascinating. I
yeah,
Yeah, because there was certainly odd stuff near the end. It did like I think, and I definitely agree with you in that. Like I think the first hour or so of the movie was way more enjoyable than what it kind of became.
and no
But
shame on like Michael Douglas, like he's great in
he's doing a
all
good job. Yeah,
roles.
he is. He's
Yeah,
having fun. Um, like he does feel a little bit heightened from what the reality of the movie is. He does feel a wee bit cartoonish, which kind of took me out of it a little bit. But like, he's still great because he's just so charismatic. Um, but yeah. Um. Shall we? Well, first of
I have
all,
one more thing. I have one more
okay.
thing. Okay, so like people have been asking and wondering for 100 years or so why the lions did this. It's not normal for them to like attack without being provoked. It was like every night workers were like being dragged out of their tents and being eaten. They would like target specific, they never like targeted the same area
Uh-huh.
twice.
Well,
Um and they would like target specific, like the hospital, right? They would like go there and like attack everybody. So it was like very like coordinated between the two of them. Um so basically they think that at least one of them had a toothache.
Oh, interesting.
And so it's like when you're a lion, you're like running and you're trying to like eat a zebra on as you're like running or
Yeah.
whatever. So they actually have the skulls, and so they were, and one of them, yeah, did have like a rotten tooth, and so they're wondering if that it was easier for them to try and eat the humans as opposed to like a gazelle or a zebra.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Because the
Ooh,
soft humans versus tough
yeah,
muscly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Hi, fascinating.
fast. So
Yeah.
like, toothaches, man,
Yeah.
they can
Hey,
really cause some damage.
they make you grumpy, you know,
They do.
and make you do some things you're maybe gonna regret. Um, okay, I love it. That was a good one. So I think like we've talked about this a little bit already. Too legit to fit. Who the best
Mhm.
outfit in the movie? I mean, it is between Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer for me. I don't know what you feel.
Yeah, it's like Kilmer's teeth get the
I
fit.
think probably Kilmer's Heath wins it, even though it's not
Yeah,
technically an outfit.
like at the very, very end when he's like hugging his or the baby or his baby.
Yeah. Yeah, straight Alex Sweet bonnet and
The bonnet.
gown
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Val. I think you're right. The teeth are such an incredible accessory to every outfit that he wore. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they push him over the edge. I like.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about how good the Lions were as well. They definitely get the Andy's
Yeah.
Honorable Acting Award.
Absolutely. They were
Um,
scary. They
they
did a
were
good job of
scary.
making them look. I was just like,
They
I
really
wouldn't
did.
have. Yeah.
Considering working with live lions, it was
Hmm.
very well done in that regard. I hope they treated them nice. I'm sure they probably had to, or they'd have been in trouble. Um, okay, so revisit, remember, refuse, or redo.
I
What are your
said
thoughts?
remember.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like, I don't know. I want it to feel like, when you watch Jurassic Park again for the first time in like 10 years and you're like, oh my God, this is so good. It's like I didn't get I don't think it's if you haven't seen it, I wouldn't necessarily be like, go and like
Yes,
watch this. So
I'd be
I
the
think
same.
better to just like leave it.
Yeah, like I enjoyed it at the time, and like I didn't mind rewatching it, but was also kind of like, and I think that like the first, I'd say maybe 45 minutes or so, I was like, oh, okay, this is great actually. Like I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed this, and then it kind of dropped off for me in a big way. But yeah, so I think remember if you've seen it before, remember there's no real point revisiting it. I don't think. But it doesn't do anything egregiously wrong either. So if like you have a hankering for something like this, it's not a bad option.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What
love
could
it.
have been though? What could
What
have
could have been indeed. It'd be a
been?
3 hour long Ghost in the Darkness that we missed out
Right?
on. Okay, so Beth, what's been bringing you joy this week?
Um, so like I'm not on Facebook very much,
Yep,
but I kind of am doing it a little bit more because they're starting to show like little like some of it's AI and I don't watch those, but
sure.
I'm super into Josh Johnson, the comedian.
Uh-huh.
He's been on the Daily Show. He started hosting the Daily
Yep.
Show, I think once or twice a week now. He's on tour. And he is able, like, anytime I can just like watch a little snippet of whatever he thinks is funny, it like makes my day so much better. And I just like he's got this gift of finding everything he talks about is like current events,
Yep.
and he talks about it in a way that like isn't that offensive, but you're just like, oh, this is so messed up, and he tells it in a way that makes it funny.
Okay,
So like
nice.
just check him out. I highly recommend watching anything Josh Johnson has to say. The most recent one that I watched that like I can't get out of my head is he's telling this story about how he's at a gas station in Kentucky,
Hmm.
and they have loose pickles for sale.
Okay.
And he's just like in his head he's trying to figure out like, okay, why are there loose wet pickles on a dusty shelf that are
Oh,
right. And
who's
in
buying
his
these?
mind he comes up with this idea of like what he thinks really happened, and like the whole thing, it's like it's to him talking about a pickles and a pickle jar juice for like 10 minutes, but it's so fucking funny.
Okay, I
So
gotta.
when I'm sad, I watch The Pickle Story.
Okay,
And now I like literally was like standing at the kitchen sink the other day and like I had pulled the last pickle out of the jar because Charles likes pickle hamburgers. And I had the jar and I had it full of pickle juice. And I was like, I had a moment and I was like, how much would someone pay for this? You'll have to watch it to find out. It's so
okay.
fucking funny. So,
I like that. Yeah, I know.
anyways,
I've seen them in the Daily Show, and I've liked them there. I must say.
yeah, yeah,
They actually have a really strong kind of like selection of people work like doing stuff, and like all of them are really great actually at the minute. Um,
yeah.
because I like Trevor Noah, but like the show had a different kind of vibe back then. I don't know, and like I did enjoy it, but like I think that like I don't know that when he left, I was like a little. First of all, whenever Jon Stewart was coming back, I was like, is this a good idea? But I think how they've done it, which is they've given like a rotating cast of presenters, is really
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I've been thinking a lot about it because like it's something we've talked about, but I've been watching Slow Horses again. And like I've been watching this most recent season, and I kind of am like I don't know that it's an amazing show, but the characters are so freaking great. Everybody's so much fun. Like particularly Jackson Lamb is so entertaining. But like Roddy Ho's just incredible as well. Like they're all sort
He
of great
is
characters. I just wish
just so hateable.
he is. But like, give me all of the Jackson Lamb you have all day long. It's so much. It's like I will never stop watching that show because he's so incredible in it. And yeah, it's just been nice having another season of it.
Yeah, I'm watching it too. So there's like one episode where he like they're having a goodbye party and he just like goes in and like grabs a bottle of wine and like grabs a cake and just like
Yeah.
walks out.
Yeah.
And I was watching an interview with that whatever on like Graham Norton or whatever. And he was like, normally they'll substitute in like it'll be vegan or like low
Yeah.
calorie because he's like, I gotta eat. They didn't do that with that cake, and he was just like, I was vomiting in the trash, like so full, vomiting in the trash
Amazing.
can. So yeah, agreed. So
So
much
good.
joy from that show.
Truly, truly. Love it. All right. In that case, we've reached the end of our episode. Beth, can you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us at bendypodcast.com. Also, if thank you to everyone who has liked us or whatever
Yeah,
on Spotify. If you listen to us on whatever platform, just give us a like.
please do.
Please, we would appreciate it forever, forever.
I love it. Okay. In that case, folks, as always, we like to remind you to stay
Stay
bendy. Oh,
bendy.
that was a special sick edition. Stay
I,
bendy.
I know, right? You're gonna
Right, we
lose your
love
voice
you.
after that. Love you guys. Bye,
Bye
bye,
bye
bye, bye.
bye.